Well, welcome everyone to tonight's town council meeting. If everyone could please stand and join us in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is Kate Wilson here to do the invocation? Please come up to the lectern.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together to discuss important matters about this town. We ask that your spirit of peace be with us, that it lead and guide us with wisdom. Bless this town. Help us to make the right decisions to move forward in confidence, knowing that we are in accordance to your will. Let your will be done in us and through us. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Liz, if you could do roll call. Here.
Here.
Brad,
Here.
Eric Shepherd, Levi Strauss, Lon Stone.
Here.
Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes from July 15th? If so, entertain a motion or corrections, questions.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the January 15th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes. Any special presentation tonight? The agenda is blank. There are no consent agenda items. So we will move on to old business. Reorganization update.
Just a brief update on the road interlocal. Spoke with the county attorney today, the county council, the budget approved by the council and the county commissioners. The council is going to act on it tomorrow. And they actually held off on the initial construction meeting because they wanted the town's representative to be appointed president. And there's no bad message in that, just they didn't want to have a message from Maria be within that to get control without the town having input. One other item we have raised on the council's behalf, the issue of whether they have to go through with the trail portion of it. I know it's controversial for some residents of the town. And they indicated that, at least the county attorney indicated that they were open to discussion on that. Concern would be losing money, which was stated at one point would be the case because it was a part of their application. They indicated if they did not lose a portion of the money based on that, that they would be open to a discussion about whether or not to proceed with the ground.
That being said, I'll appoint Dave Kincaid as the town's liaison to the Dunbar Road project.
That's that one.
Under that same topic.
Sure.
President, Councilors, this Friday, we'll convene with Vanny Engineering. Their work and findings related to the road asset inventory of not only the town district, but primarily the rural district. Recall their work involves the pavement ratings, the inventory and rating, I should say, of the small structures, the rating of good, better, best, guardrail, signage, all of that will be brought to bear. That will then inform us on the operating budget on what roads to prioritize, what small structure to prioritize. As you also may have seen an email, the CCMG funding will open October 1st. October 1st this year, so that's your road paving, road maintenance money from the state. So that meeting Friday will, with your operational staff, will be important as we go into the final back half of the budget cycle. And we'll report that. I'm sure that will be shared with you in abundance after that meeting.
What time is that meeting?
10.
10 o'clock.
Okay,
Here.
we need to get a hold of Higgins. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he wanted you and I to discuss budgets around 10 on Friday,
Okay.
so I didn't know about that, so. Speaking of roads, I did receive an email, I would assume the rest of you did, from a property owner on Spencer Street. They were told at one time that their road would be paved 2 years ago, and it keeps getting bumped. Todd and I did drive out last Friday down Spencer. It's not in bad shape. I don't know if Scott, if you've gone down Spencer lately, but I know the roads that we're paving are in much worse shape. So just when we're looking at this round, let's see how that rates compared to the other roads. We were emailed, so I want to address it. Not to say that it'll get put on the list or not, but I definitely don't want it overlooked. If that's it for the road and reorg, we'll move on to item number 2, resolution 2025-16. Confirmatory resolution. I'm drawing a blank here. Pro-Lion, okay.
Tax abatement, Pro-Lion.
Yep.
You actually have a public hearing.
Yep. Do we want any discussion prior to go straight into the public?
I can walk through anything we want to.
Let's just refresh everybody what this is.
So Pro-Lion has requested in conjunction their 1.5 acre development at Lot 5 Countryside Industrial Park here in the town. A 10-year tax abatement that starts at 100% in year 1 and works its way down 10% per year. Year 10 to 10% tax abatement is this customary for this type of project. They did submit an SB1 that declared they would be investing $2,304,000 in the project. It would create 6 full-time positions with average salary of $57,000. And in case circulated illustration showing the tax impact for the project. We did. Mr. Higgins gave notice. We published notice in the hearing tonight. Mr. Higgins gave a tax impact statement to the underlying tax entities. So they would be aware of the price.
Okay. It is 6:08 p.m. I will open the public hearing. Anyone like to come up and discuss this? I will close the public hearing. 6:08 p.m. Is there any representatives here from that group that want to talk? Being said.
So the confirmatory resolution is on the table.
We've discussed this prior, and I think everybody was good with it.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 2025-16. Preliminary resolution as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes. Any other old business? Is there anything on Republic that we need? There was a meeting last week. Anything need to be said on that? Any NDOT stuff?
We met last Monday. Same thing. Gonna start on the west, probably be spring, early summer. Duke is supposed to be done by the end of this year. And then everything else is pending on them. One thing I think we need to do as a council is consider making California Street a one-way street during this project. Because we're gonna have a tremendous amount of traffic using that as a bypass. Because the first section is gonna eliminate from the county line to about Mule Bar. So people that get on 47 are gonna need a place to get off.
So you want to make it north?
Yeah, one way north or south.
Well, doesn't make any difference to me, whatever.
Currently have it Ohio Street one way south. But maybe
North.
to have California Street one way north.
I mean, we could make it temporary for a couple of years. I mean, I don't know how long we can do that, but it's one of those things, that when this is over with, we won't need it that way unless we just want it that way.
Special.
I don't know off the top of my head, I'm sure you can make it temporary, ongoing, and renew it and just a timeline with it.
I mean, I just wanted to put it out there because we won't need to be done. I mean, they're saying early summer. I wouldn't jump on that.
We should research, because you're changing traffic pattern, there's a traffic study required by the traffic engineer. I don't wanna make it more bureaucratic than what's necessary, but maybe information, because of changing the traffic patterns.
Last meeting, we discussed an ordinance to limit the size of vehicles on 236.
I've looked at that and the town didn't do that as long as it's a town road, and traffic. I just,
To eliminate semi-traffic on 236 until something could be done.
what we'll have to do is have signs created, so we'll have a Kirby create sign, you can't force it until the sign is, in place. We'll have to place it at each end.
Okay.
While we're working on traffic, or where do we stand with getting the speed limits for the county marked for Chief Nielsen?
March meeting,
What we're gonna have is, because some of the roads don't have markings and Jerkwater lacks markings, and
Signage.
we need to have an ordinance to back the speed limit signs, I believe. Isn't that correct, Chief?
Yeah, we can enforce state statute, if you want us to enforce it'd be good to have that, because we get questions all the time, especially on Adams Township now, what is the speed limit? So if you're gonna change that, typically, Sarge, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 55 basically, if it's not marked, correct?
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than Boone County, but it's 55 if it's not marked, if it's marked, then that's the posted speed limit.
So we need to adopt, does the county have a separate speed limit on those streets?
I don't think they do.
On some of,
I'm gonna guess no, because it would be marked, right?
on some of the roads, they are marked 45. Most of them, no, don't have any speed limit sign whatsoever on them.
Which is 55.
And by state statute, if it's not marked as a country road, it's 55.
Give us direction as to what
What
roads you want and what speeds you want, we can draft an ordinance for you.
I would direct that to Boston.
If you guys want to put together what you feel is appropriate for those areas.
We'd be more than happy, but to do that, I think it's important to work with a traffic study in order to do that as well, because you don't want to be changing those if they're set there for a reason, right?
We'll report back.
so we'll, what we can do Friday, in the discussion with Manny, is put that on their to-do list, and we'll work together to see what the next steps are.
And I don't think we need to do a traffic study for all the roads. That would be really expensive.
Certificate of change.
Yeah. All right, move on to new business, resolution 2025-15, approving term sheet and MOU for drive-in properties. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
So, Counselor, this would be like a three-pronged presentation of this. That makes his way to the lectern, the project. Jacob and his client approached the town, several months ago, with interest in the approximately 55 acres, located West Road and 747.
This is your place.
That particular, parcel of land has been for, quite a few years, an industrial area. But specifically, it's been in an economic revitalization area, or TIP district. It was laid dormant for many, many years, it's known as the Webster TIP. And, Mr. Everett, client expressed interest in that. I think they're taking, proactive, they're taking steps to, gain control of that. And this, part of the, public-private partnership to make the project, a reality. So, when Mr. Everett is concluded, turn it to Mr. Bosman for, an overview with description of the term sheet that you're considering.
Thank you, Todd. This is on. Good. Thanks, council, for allowing me to be here today. Jacob Everett. I have a consulting company called Course of Strategies. Actually, I'm your neighbor just across the way. I live over in Cicero. So, help companies and developers that are interested in engaging with the public sector on projects like this. And so, as Todd said, I've been representing my client, Satori Properties, for all of this year and probably stretching into last year, evaluating this site and trying to figure out if this will be a good development opportunity for them. And as Todd mentioned, this project has been contemplated as an industrial development site within the town for a long, long time. I think well over a decade, probably a lot longer than that. So go ahead, Todd. So my client, just a little bit of background on them. They've been developing commercial real estate here in the U.S. They also have some experience in Europe as well for a long time. Family-owned company. It's managed by a brother and sister. With that said, they want to build a quality product. That's really their goal. I would say typically, not always, but typically they tend to develop these properties and hold them, which, I think is good. They intend to build a quality project and be here as the owners of the property for quite some time. At least that's their typical pattern of their business. Go ahead, Todd. You guys are all probably familiar with the site. We're out here at the intersection of West Road and 47, approximately 50 acres. Again, zoned industrial. We'll talk about that on the next slide. I just did want to point out, we did hold a community open house back in June, first week of June, just to make sure that if anyone was interested from the community or the neighborhood next door, we were able to meet with them and answer questions. As I mentioned, the zoning is already OI in your current zoning code that covers the entire property. We have two parcels. It's really one parcel that makes up almost the entire site, and there's a very small parcel that's connected to it on the south east corner. We're not asking for any zoning changes. The plan is to operate within the current zoning conditions that are already on the site. In front of you here on the screen is a kind of the latest conceptual site plan for the property. What you see here, obviously this may continue to evolve over time, but there's been multiple, iterations of this over the last 6 months. The concept is, smaller footprint buildings, really intended to serve small and mid-sized companies. We think this is a really good fit, and I think aligns with what the community is looking for. Not looking to come in and build a monster building, but build these structures that are going to be accessible to small businesses. Really, most of those structures, not all of them, are really envisioned as multi-tenant buildings. So lots of these would really most likely be occupied by different various tenants. And again, within your zoning code, there's a variety of uses that are kind of authorized, and that's really what we expect to see in this park. Would be a variety of different types of companies occupying these spaces. Lastly, just some visual imagery for you to see. So again, we met with Todd and Jennifer back in the spring and kind of talked about the concept and took some feedback from them in terms of what's important to the community. And so what you see in front of you is responding to wanting to make sure, especially that frontage on 47, that everybody's going to drive by. Really wanting to make sure that ties in and fits well with the community. So put some more time and energy into making sure those frontages look good and really tie in. You kind of have a storefront feel, some more stone and brick on the front there. You can keep going, Todd. There's a couple more images, I think. So
again, that's the frontage that really everybody will see unless you go back into the park. And the last one there, I think, is kind of the long shot. So, from a timeline perspective, realistically, I think, if we can keep this thing moving, 2026 would probably be a fair amount of infrastructure type work. Hopefully seeing some vertical stuff going in, 27, with the plan to really develop kind of north to south, right? So the first vertical development would most likely be there along the State Road 46 frontage, and then continue to develop southward from there. Happy to answer questions, but don't want to drag you into the details any further than you'd like to go. Just did want to thank Todd and Jennifer and Brian and Zach and Jim Higgins, who's not here, as we try to work through this process to make sure this project lines up with what the town is looking for. Happy to answer questions or turn it back over to Todd and Brian.
The other question I have, in that wooded area,
Yeah.
isn't there a lot of wetlands in there?
There is. So if you'll see in that picture, so the version prior to this one, there were buildings closer into that northeast corner there. And so those have been backed off. And so there were more wetlands than we thought and believed. And so that has been adjusted to account for that.
So you're not disturbing the wetland then?
Right. I know there was some talk of some wetland mitigation and stuff like that, but so I'd have to ask the engineers on the technical, but clearly as you look, because the parcel is, obviously a square. And so that the whole corner is largely at this point, a lot of that wooded area is being left alone due to the wetlands.
Three other finer points, Jacob's correct that Jennifer planner expressed the need to set a tone with 4741 higher bar, but aesthetics. And then secondly, this site has had interest as open storage for boats and RVs to aggregate lay down yard. So this is over the last at least 5 years, the highest and best use potential project through that would yield most of the tax revenue back to the site. With that, I yield to Mr. Boswell on the document of the individual.
Yeah, I'll just walk through some of the term sheet. We don't always do a term sheet at the outset of one of these projects, but as this one was a little bit more entailed, we wanted to be sure that we were in agreement with the developer on some of the key terms. That's when you have a term sheet. It's not binding. The binding part of this will start subject to the RDC being available on August 14th at a special meeting of the RDC to go through the customary declaratory resolution, plan commission approval, council approval, confirmatory resolution by the RDC after a hearing. But the notice is very similar to the process that already happens. And then the additional step from other transactions that we've been involved in, the Economic Development Commission will also be involved, and they're the ones that approve bond documents and make recommendations to the town. So we just touched on a couple highlights here, and I'll talk about the bond program. So the timeline that's in the term sheet is that construction will commence on July 1, 2027. Sounds like they're going to pay that, but that's kind of an outside deadline. And then the developer committed to having at least 100,000 square feet of the usable building space completed by December 31, 2028. They've also confirmed that they're not asking for real estate property tax abatement in conjunction with this. They did reserve the right to request and apply for personal property tax abatement, likely to attract tenants or purchasers to the project, and that will be at your discretion, of course, in the future. There is a commitment for the town to preliminary equipment now, or commitment now subject to our definitive agreements for the town to issue a $9.8 million economic development loan payable solely from 85% of the tax increment that we created by the project. It's called a developer-backed bond issue, which means the developer or the party to related to the developer or their bank will purchase it and work out the repayment. Because repayment won't occur until the project goes up and tax increment is actually assessed and collected. So there is no recourse on the town, there's no liability of the town. The town will receive 15%, the redevelopment commission actually will receive 15% of the tax increment that's generated. The agreement makes it clear that the developers guaranteeing that it has to be generated by the actual tax increment. So ultimately the bond documents will have to be approved by the council. So there'll be one more meeting after all these other meetings for the town council to approve all the transactions. The developer, we're still working out some details. Total cost of the project, that would be in the definitive agreements.
We estimate what you saw in front of you was about 325,000 square feet of all those buildings that were in that plan. We have that at around 50 million total improvement cost. If all that gets built kind of as contemplated.
That's great. So 50 million, and then the town is assisting with 9.8 million of that, which is really still all of this developer. So they can use the 9.8 million for virtually any portion of the project, construction costs, development fees, property acquisition. The agreements will require that the developer insure the town, because you're essentially the lender on the project. There are several conditions to closing. Jacob Smith is the like to work with. Ask for some reasonable stuff. Say the like, very reasonable to work with. And,
I feel the same. Thank you.
yeah, we'll get all the documents put together and hopefully subject to Councilor Bragg and his team, RDC being available on the 14th. We'll have a special meeting. If we can't, we'll do it on the 28th. It just because of the timing, because you have to go RDC, Planning Commission, Council, RDC, EDC. The timeline on that stretched out almost to beyond the end of the year. So try to pull it up and we actually shoot about a month and a half while I have a meeting on the 14th. We'll make it work either way. We'd like to get it closed before the end of the year, I think, for everyone's purposes. Happy to answer any additional questions on either the process or what the term sheet provides.
Anybody have any questions?
Just be clear, we're loaning 9.8 million. That is fully going to be repaid by the
Tax increment. Okay. Yeah. This is the but-for theory of tax increment financing. They would be putting it there if they weren't getting the financial assistance, and then it would create nothing except for whatever the owned storage tax is creating. So yeah, they're essentially creating a project that will, your portion of it, under $10 million, will be paid from their property tax.
Another important thing to look through these projects and look at these projects. The risk is on the developer. So if the tax revenue isn't sufficient to cover the bond payment, then the developer has to cover that delta on that margin. That's important. The other thing to appreciate is 15% of a developed 50 acres at 50 million, whatever that nets out to be,
Right.
is far greater than 100% of what you collect today is in that.
And we concur that we are not asking the town to take any liability or take any responsibility. The developer understands that the bonds will be paid solely from what the TIF generates.
I should add one more item. We're actually, this is the existing Webster, inactive Webster tax increment allocation area. We are taking 2 parcels out of that and creating the new Freeman Properties allocation area. The remaining 3 properties will remain in the old Webster. What that does is that restarts the 25-year clock that will start when ultimately the bonds are issued, and the other remaining portions are available for future development.
Good motion.
I'll make a motion, we accept resolution 2025-15.
I second.
Have a motion and a second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank you, council.
First step down.
Thank you.
Next item up is the approval of a price quote for new overhead doors for the fire station.
Good evening, counselors. Bay doors at the fire station are over 30 years old. In the past several years, I've put approximately $5,000 in repairs to these bay doors, and they're still 30-some years old. What has happened over time, they collect moisture, and these doors weigh 5 times more than what they should. So we're constantly breaking springs, having motor issues, and so forth. 2 weeks ago, I spoke with Mr. Higgins, our CPA, and advised that we had the funding or he would find the funding to replace these doors, and gave me the go-ahead to select somebody to do it. And so I have a quote, and I don't know if it made it to your packet or not. Do you have quotes in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. The most reasonable quote that I received, and that is under the $50,000 threshold, is from Second Shift Garage Doors at a cost of $42,108.22. Second Shift has been doing a lot of work in the area. They take care of all the weight stuff and Patton Automotive and so forth. And they currently service our garage doors when we have issues. So I'm before you this evening. If you're okay to go ahead and get these new bay doors installed. They'll be similar to what we have, other than where we currently have 3 small windows in each doors. One panel will be a full view tinted with black trim, so they will look pretty sharp on the building.
I'd like to add that these doors that we have now are so heavy, the garage door openers won't hold them. They slip down, and the issue is gonna be if they slip down on a truck or somebody have to get hurt. So I think we need to
Yeah, definitely.
move on this.
You ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move we approve the quote from Second Shift to replace the garage doors.
I'll set it.
Want to amend your motion for the dollar amount?
And the dollar amount, $42,108.22.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Any finance budget updates? Jim is not here. I think we'll know more at the next meeting. Attorney report.
The first one we've been on to. Any questions, we're happy to attend to them. There's a lot of putting this documents together for this deal right now. So.
Dave and I sat through 10 hours of mediation last Friday. And the look on your face tells everyone how well it went. And we need to discuss. But has there been any other communication in a week's time? Okay. Yeah, it did go well. Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still battling White Avenue paving. But moving on, I guess we'll talk offline. Is that it for attorney?
Yes.
Okay. General discussion items. Let's start with project updates. Monon Trail Phase 2.
Yeah, why not?
Mr. Miller. Hasn't been a lot of movement out there here recently.
Right. Joe Miller, Banning Engineering. Bumbarner's been getting, they had to get a special custom made cap for whatever reason out there on one of their storm sections, the manholes. So I've been waiting for that to come in. That should be in late this week. They're planning to start stoning next week, middle of the week. And then they really only need about, we think everything will pass the proof rule. They only need about 5 days to get stone down and then start paving. So
So
it won't take very long once it gets going. So
Are we at a point we can set a ribbon cutting date?
I would like to get them started stoning with the weather the way it's been. It's created a little bit of havoc, I think, with all their projects they're trying to balance out. So give me next week and then I'll know. I actually talked to them today before I came up here. They said they were going to reconvene on Friday, depending on how the weather went, kind of give me another update. So I should be able to have a clearer picture as to what they're able to pull off. So
The stone paving will only take a day or two.
it's not going to take. I would count on a week for both.
Okay.
It's a long way.
So let's
Yeah.
target the 22nd. It's
Of-
not set in stone, it's not
of
on
August?
paper. Yeah,
Okay.
because we told everybody end of July and here we are August, so let's put some pressure. 22nd is what.
All
we're
right. I'll see
shooting
what they
for.
can do.
Everybody go with 22nd. Okay. Is that all? No, 236th Street, that's not him.
I can provide that, so previously you, through a scope and fee for your, engineer representatives for 236th Street. They will begin the corridor scoping, meaning what would an improved road look like, and that'll take about a month. So this time, maybe next month, latter part of September, we'll have some preliminary design and their recommendations to head into this funding cycle and apply for the federal dollars to improve 236th Street. So it's underway, and we have been able to harvest some substantive documents from the county when that they were going to move along.
So while we're on the topic of 236, the millings at Lamont and 236. Is there a plan yet on what to do with those millings? I get asked a bunch, so.
Completely understand. Yes, we do have those millings stored right there at 236 Lamont. As soon as we have an opportunity between weather, the sinkholes and the things that have come up, we have every intentions on going out there and trying to put some of those millings along those worst spots on the shoulders.
Any special equipment needed or how?
No, but we got the dump trucks now, so we have the conveyor. It's really just been a matter of scheduling. Every time we've either tried to go out there, it's either raining or we had a sinkhole today. We were going to do it today, but we had a sinkhole on First and Fanning, so it was just every time we try, something comes up.
Nope, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you. Comprehensive plan update.
I had to say that Mrs. Miller is very quite for across the community with her postcards.
Yes,
Positive.
yes, so, so you received yours? Is that what you said?
I'm sorry.
You received yours?
I did. I think.
Excellent.
Audience, and I've been questioned twice by other people. So.
Fantastic. So, so my update was going to be that postcards went out on Friday and it sounds like people are beginning to receive them. We sent them to every address in Sheridan, including those with an Arcadia or an Atlanta address. We also recently did what we call a pop-up session at the Jeep Festival. We had a tent where we were also handing out our flyers with a QR code to the comprehensive plan survey. We certainly encourage all residents to fill it out. And this, I do want to say, this also includes your teenagers. It's really important for us to understand in our comprehensive plan the desires of the entire community. So I would encourage you to engage your kids in the discussion. We got a lot of really good comments from kids at the Jeep Festival in terms of what they want to see in the community, and that will help inform things like our parks plan and such. So their input is just as valuable to us. We do have a couple of open houses scheduled. We have one coming up on August 12th. That will be here in this building. And then we have another one on August 25th, which will be up at the Eakin Community Center. The survey is the same, whether you fill it out by scanning the QR code from the postcard, the flyer you may have received if you were at Saturday's event, or if you come to our meeting, you'll be answering the same questions that are part of that survey. So really encourage you to provide the engagement. And so once our open houses are complete, we will then shift into focus groups where we will target special areas of study. So things like the schools, we will speak to a group of representatives from the schools. We will speak to business owners, which will be a combination of small business owners, large business owners. But we will work those out with our steering committee and our consultant, and we will schedule those at a time where participants and invitees to those groups can participate. And that'll help us narrow down issues relative to each special study area. So that.
Who is on your committee?
Our steering committee has about 15 members right now. I don't have a full list.
16?
15. I don't have a
15.
full list in front of me. We have, since the initial workshop meeting, which was held in June, we have added a couple of additional members just to make sure that we're getting a good cross-section of the community.
And anyone else have questions? Rolling along well?
Okay. Do you want me to stay up for the next one?
Probably so. Code enforcement update.
So our code enforcement, we have approximately, and I apologize, I'm going to pull up these numbers from another document. We have, I believe,
Bring out.
thank you. Actually, I'm pulling that up now. Thank you, Dave. So we have, from a code enforcement standpoint, we have one case that we opened this month. We have a total of 16 cases that are open throughout the community. 4 of those have reached out to us, and we are presently working out a resolution plan with each of those to address the citations. 0 cases have been appealed. 3 have been resolved, where once they received the letter, they immediately took action and took care of this situation. And we have 3 cases with legal. 2 of those recently received letters with fines, and those fines are standing. So those will be due August 15th.
Any other questions?
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Harvest Moon Festival.
Hello.
Hello.
We're here because we were told to be.
I just thought, they asked me, I thought it'd be a good idea. I know there was some concerns going back and forth, and just, we're
I think we're solid.
solid?
So we're solid 2 days on Main with a carnival. We have several food trucks lined up. And starting to get a lot of vendors lined up as well.
In the
so-
date?
October 4th and 5th.
Have you been working with street and police already?
Yes,
Okay. Stay in touch very often with them.
we
so-
sure will.
Okay, no, that was just, we didn't know if we needed to help rectify anything.
I mean, you could give us like 10 grand, but
Good,
I won't
Good.
ask. That's it though.
but we're not.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
That's it. Thank you, guys.
thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Are there any more items for general discussion? Public comment, non-agenda related items. Going up, state your name.
Jason Harbaugh. I have a question for the police mainly. I live just south of Boxley, close to the cemetery on 6 Points Road. And the speed limit there is 30 miles an hour. And I see police officers out there quite a bit, so it's not like they're neglecting us. But there's 2 or 3 kids that go flying past my house, which I don't really care. But there's a bunch of young kids in Boxley. I see there's a new family just moved into the Henry house right on 6 Points Road. I can hear them. They don't slow down until they hit the church or those curves just to the north of Boxley. And I mean, like I say, they go flying by my house, it doesn't bother me. But when they cross that bridge, there's too many kids there for them to be flying like that. And I don't know how expensive or how functional one of those signs like they got coming in town on 236 star that tells you, you know, your speed, slow down, all that. Whether one of those would help or what would be the answer, I don't know, but it's a concern of mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Harbaugh. Thank you very much for bringing that up. We have been proactively patrolling that area, making sure that we run radar out there. We do have a radar trailer. We may try to get out there in the next couple of weeks to be able to monitor that speed. But there are some things that we are doing proactively now. Unfortunately, we just can't be out there 24/7 to catch them when they come by, right? So please continue to stay in touch with us, email me, and we'll make sure we get more extra patrols out there.
Thank you.
Hi, Candy Gansel. I'm here because I have concerns about the town council and their decision on how it's affecting the Dunbar Road residents. During July 15th, 25 town council meeting, they voted to accept a horrendous interlocal agreement with the county that will let the county run havoc regards to Dunbar Road. Let me say thank you to Mr. Stone and Mr. Kincaid who voted against the path and have answered my emails as they knew the county had no good up their sleeves. It gave the county the right to have a multi-use path on Dunbar Road and destroy many of the residents' homes, trees, and yards. As an example, this path would destroy over 14 trees that are between 60 and 70 feet tall on my and my husband's yard alone. Not to mention the adjoining nowheres from 226 to 236 that have 20 trees ranging from 60 to 70 and over 55 trees that are over 70 feet tall, plus 20 smaller ones. My husband and I have attended at least 10 town board council meetings since February and have written notes that we have. Since the first meeting we have attended and subsequent meetings, the entire board assured the residents of Dunbar Road that they totally agreed that the residents would support us having no path on Dunbar. Now we have been sold out by our own council, the council that we believe would protect us as citizens of Sheridan. I was instructed via phone call Monday, June 28th of this year by 2 of our county commissioners that they cannot change the agreement because Sheridan already signed it that way. In fact, I was the point of discussion and sarcasm at the county's July 28th commissioners meeting because of my determination. Many of the residents of Dunbar Road truly believe that Dunbar could have been left to chip and seal road and not even entered into negotiations with the county. The county would have wanted the road fixed so bad for the new water park that they would have come begging at our door. Instead, we, the residents of Dunbar Road, are prepared to have our serenity and lives destroyed by unnecessary walking path on the road. The council believes that the county commissioners cannot be trusted and talk out both sides of their mouth. And now I and the residents of my neighborhood on Dunbar Road know the members who voted for this project have done the same and cannot be trusted. It is abundantly clear that you do not care about us, especially those who voted themselves part of Sheridan. This council is no better than the county. I thought my husband and I voted for reorg that this council would listen to me and its citizens. Boy, were we wrong. I usually cannot get even an email response from most of this council or acknowledgement that they received my email. I want to thank Mr. Stone for his phone conversation and Mr. Kincaid for his reply email and Mr. Schrock for his response and phone conversation this week about the discussion. The next move for your lawyers is to contact the state, then the county to help them understand the 2 points from the Indiana Department of Transportation explained to me. I was the one who had to figure this out on my own with no help from anybody. I talked to Kathy Eaton McCallum on June 28th at 2:06 p.m. The county will not lose money if they do not put the trail in, is what she told me, per quote. The walking path or trail has to be contiguous. If they put a trail from 236 to 38, there is no connectivity, which means it has to hook into something else. There's no path on 236 and there's no path on 38. How is the council going to help the citizens feel supported and resolve this horrific issue? In fact, I know for sure that not just my husband and myself, but others are looking where they can move. Norm and I cannot believe we have built the house of our dreams after 40 years and the town where I grew up and now may not even be able to live there in peace. These are the items I would like response to by the 19th. What is the town lawyers going to do to resolve getting rid of the walking path? Was the petition the residents signed given to the county and when? If so, why not? If not, why not? What will the town council do to resolve this matter to the satisfaction of its citizens of this county or district? When will the attorneys for Sheridan contact the Indiana Department of Transportation? And I'll be glad to provide you with the name and confirm that the county does not lose their money and the walking path must have connectivity. Then contact the county. We need your help.
My name is Jeff Beals. I live at 21645 Dunbar Road, Sheridan. I wished I was as articulate as Candy is. My question is if the path goes through, as she stated, it's a path that leads to nowhere. It starts nowhere and goes nowhere. It's not connected to anything. Are there plans to put parking lots at either end of the trail so somebody could park around 216th Street and walk north and vice versa from 236 south? That's a question. You probably can't answer it now, but that's a question. Privacy fencing. Would privacy fencing being put up, because this is going to impact some houses, particularly mine and Candy's. Would privacy fencing be included for us? And then also, how far from the road would this walking path be placed? Would it be next to the road, the expanded Dunbar Road, or would it be 50 foot in? So these are some of the questions that need to be addressed in my mind. Obviously, I'm not in favor of it. I wasn't in favor of all the stuff that went on in the past, but that's water under the bridge now. But this is all in regards to the road expansion and a walking trail that is not needed because it leads to nowhere. So if I could get some answers on those issues as well. And I think you referenced a meeting on Dunbar Road, or when is that meeting again?
There's not a public meeting with that body.
Okay.
I think a big construction meeting in Dot. Yeah, which the town will have Mr. Kincaid represent.
Is that something the public can attend?
No.
So it impacts us, but we can't attend it.
Right.
The county council meeting tomorrow to approve the.
County council is tomorrow to address interlocal.
Okay.
My knowledge.
You can attend that.
That one's public.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a public hearing on that?
There's not one required.
Okay.
So.
Stephanie Knapp, Dunbar Road. I just am here in support of my neighbors who are against, as the rest of us who signed the petition, the walking path. And I just want to bring it to light that I think it's a little bit humorous that you want our input for this, but you actually don't care what a lot of us have to say in Adams Township.
Is there anyone else for Dunbar Road?
Hello, fellas. Todd Hufford, 21415 Dunbar Road. Appreciate your passion, as always. There's just some vagueness, and I don't know if I've missed it, but there's just some details that I'm not sure if they're totally public. You cited a few, some of the money, the interlocal. I don't know if there's a forum or a way to get clarity on some of those for us to really understand as citizens kind of how that came about. And it's possible I missed it. But if there's a way to do that in some form, that would be very helpful because I think there's a lot of angst about the way things have happened. And maybe if we understood that process better, I think we'd just be all more informed. Thank you for your time.
Sure. You're next. No, you're next. You got one line.
I'm sorry.
Good evening, everybody. Blake Alexander, 22466 Dunbar. Just to tie into that, I guess it's more just an overall question. Is there a place for the residents to see where the plan as it stands now, where do we get the documentation for what's being discussed? Is that something you guys are able to answer? Is there a different forum for that?
We don't have that documentation. We don't. We're not keeping it from anyone
And the county will share.
and they're not sharing.
So ignorant question. So it sounds like decisions are being made without documentation to know exactly what is being discussed or put in place. Is that the case?
You may.
So, it's important to remember that the county had applied for this federal funding long before reorganization was even contemplated. As part of reorganization, I think it's widely publicized, the county said, we're out, we're not doing these projects, 236th Street, and Long Road Extension, and then more. So after, reorganization took effect January 1st, this council, was abundantly clear, the county was not going to proceed. Then the county approached council, let's do Dunbar Road, but you have to give us permission to do. We actually, but they also said, well, if you're going to Dunbar, do 236th Street. 236th Street is much more of a priority. Yeah, the county refused. So then we, several of us, got on a conference call with the leadership of NDOT. Most notably is Kathy, the Candy Run. We said, let us step into the shoes of this contract, and it was clear cut. You're not party to this, you have to start all over. You cannot step into the shoes of the county. It's the federal rules. So there was a tremendous amount of back and forth. And this interlocal was essentially an all or none. You either agree as we have it with the walking path, or you get no road whatsoever. We are not party to this, again, council, the council is not party to the contracts between the Federal Highway Administration, NDOT, and Helena County. Brad Davis is the project sponsor. I can't sit here, nor can anybody articulate all the inner workings of that project. At one point, we said, bring the design documents to this chamber, you county, and present it to us. Refused. And I don't want to sound editorial, I'm just stating facts. So we have asked for those design documents. And I don't know, as we sit here today, that they're even completed. They might have schematic design or conceptual design, CDs, but construction documents, we have yet to see. So we were adamant, as evidenced in the interlocal, that at the minimum, this council has a presence at those construction meetings, as Mr. Bosma expressed earlier. They held off on construction meetings, but we had yet to appoint the liaison. So I won't speak for the council if it wasn't all or none. And there's been a lot of back and forth. You put it on the west side of the street, you put it on the east side. I know Candy's been, I think, very successful, at least getting the attention of Commissioner Dillinger. I don't know if that's, I would, Candy, you know, and I would.
And being made fun of at the county council.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because they said that I was the only person on the whole road that had trees and had the problem.
I would push back, not to you, but to the notion that the deal's done. Every agreement can be altered. Period.
And as I stated, my conversation with the county attorney today was that they are open to that discussion if funds are not lost. We have that conversation with NDOT. We did not get the same story that you claimed. It was very clear.
So
They
can we go back
expect,
to
they
that?
indicated they expect the construction to be as planned.
she stated, I gave you her exact quote. I took notes. She won't put it in an email, but she told me verbally.
Okay, so she told us a different story, that they expect to, have the plans constructed, or I'm sorry, the project constructed as planned. Now, the county, as I said at the start, has expressed that if they can omit the trail or alter the trail and not lose money for the project, they're open to that discussion. I think Mr. Gate has gotten a very clear message on that to the public. And will be the town's representative in those discussions, so.
So let's go with the connectivity part. There's no connectivity.
Doesn't matter. We got a different story. We raised the same issue, different answer.
So just so everyone in the chamber realizes, no one on this council wants this trail.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's $23 million. That road eventually has to be repaired. It eventually has to be repaired. And it's $23 million. We have to worry about 236 other roads. It's $23 million that we don't have to take care of.
900,000. She has $1 million house. We have houses that are gonna be destroyed because of this. And nobody cares.
I wouldn't say nobody cares. We're working in the back room on trying to avoid this trail, and everyone thinks that we're not. This is a weekly conversation that either with county or NDOT. We're up here actually fighting for you guys, but at the end of the day, we have to have this road redone. Once access to 31's cut off and that road isn't repaired, it's gonna be a nightmare, especially if they have an accident and everything gets detoured in front of your house. That road is going to crumble.
I guess real quick, just to ask, and then I'm happy to sit down. Out of respect for everybody's time, the council as well as the community, who would the appropriate person, if us expressing these concerns to the town council is not moving the needle in regards to some decision makers involved in other aspects, who would we be best served investing the time, effort, and energy in having these conversations with?
She has all of the numbers, emails.
She does. I guess from your perspective as the governing body, who do you guide us to?
County commissioners.
Have control of this project.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the town gave them permission to the center local, yes, you can improve the town road. And let's be clear. Just because reorg took place, commissioners does not stop being commissioners
Yep.
of this area. And they are in control of this project. They have the match money that they have to go to the county council to infuse into the project. I think this council has demonstrated over, maybe try to exercise as much influence over this as possible. Either it's in there or you don't get the road.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we actually drafted in local that did not have a trail.
And it was denied or?
It's not gonna go. Swiftly rejected.
Got it. Yeah, just in layman's terms, it makes no sense to me. If we're scrapping a path, the concern about losing money, if we're not investing the money to put in a path, what is lost? The overall number may go down, but if we're not spending it on a path, what difference does it make?
Because
Do you guys have any
the
knowledge about
money-
that?
The money to produce a trail comes out of a different pot. And they determine the cost of that trail.
Mhm.
So maybe that cost goes into the road and not necessarily the trail, but that money comes out of a different pot.
And the federal approval included the trail in the proposal.
But the trail and the federal people, the letter I have that I got from the state of Indiana,
I looked at that letter, did not say what
it
you
just
said.
said 226 to 236. It doesn't say 236 or 226 to Denver. Just FYI.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, just lastly, I think you raised a great question. You're encouraged to continue communication with the question.
And us. I mean, we're fighting
Yep.
for it. So, I mean, please come and we're listening. And we're trying to get rid of this trail.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the clarity you provided because the last thing we ever want to do as residents is to insult your integrity and claim your intentions are something other than they are. But like Candy said, if we're having conversations and something's being said, but there are other meetings, there's other committees, and there's no documentation of the plan, it feels like as a resident, decisions are being made that directly impact my livelihood, my property, and no one seems to know the answers to the questions.
Very fair. I think it does feel like a little bit of cart before the horse. That is, local, if you're in the county's position, was important to have this here, because it's not, technically it's not their road.
Yep.
They wanted to have that in place before they advanced the project into design and all. the final
That's right,
stages. So
yes.
And they had to have approval from the town before
Yes.
September to get September 1 to get the federal funds.
I guess I said I was going to sit down, but to that point, what is the next step for this project or process? I didn't know about a September 1 deadline. What, from your perspective, what is the next phase or next benchmark that this has to hit?
Mr. King
Friday.
is going to participate in, I'm sorry.
Well, what day is it, that meeting? Okay. Okay.
So there is a county council meeting tomorrow. But it's considered in the local.
And we highly encourage anyone on Dunbar Road to attend that meeting.
But the acceptance of an interlocal has nothing to do with the funding, the plan, because it doesn't exist. Is that right? Like there's no documented.
Nothing to do with the funding.
Yes.
You can't get the funding for the feds without the interlocal agreement.
But I just mean if we were to go in opposition to the walk path and everything that we've discussed, that has no bearing on the interlocal agreement.
Or just the commissioners.
No.
What it stated is if the walk path is removed, it doesn't crater, it's
No.
not fatal to the project.
Mhm.
So if
That's the concern.
Got it.
If it's not fatal to the funding, they have expressed, at least their attorney expressed to the council's attorney, they expressed some willingness to discuss omission of or alteration of that.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you guys for the information. I appreciate it.
any point, I think there's, to let it leave, there's discretion on the county's behalf. That discretion, if that is true, it's not exercised by the council. You have no, again, you're not party to the contract between the county and they.
Please approach.
They get the patience award.
Mhm.
Patiently wait.
Pam Williams, I live on Lamong Road. Before I actually do my topic, I'm going to encourage every resident that's here tonight for Dunbar Road to attend the county council meeting tomorrow night.
Hey,
Public
Rick,
comment.
silence your phone.
He's been trying. The
Shut it
public
off.
comment is at the beginning of the meeting. So make sure you get there, sign in. They will try to go very quickly past that. Okay? From experience. All right, so my request is another traffic concern. Seems like the topic of the night. As you guys know, I stated I live out in Lamong. I live by the airport. And it is corn season. And as Levi knows, I know he's not here tonight, I emailed the concern about that the corn is planted very close to the edge of the intersections in the rural area. And I learned this evening from our transportation people, sorry, I forgot your name, that as a reorganized town, we do not have the legal ability to actually mow that corn back as the county did before reorganization. Previously, the county would go out and knock that corn down if they planted it too close to the intersection, causing a traffic obstruction. So my ask tonight is that the county consider entering a new ordinance that would enable the county to have permission to go out and remove traffic obstructions in the rural areas to provide greater safety for the residents of the community. That's it. All right.
Yeah, so Mr. Dyson did some legal research on this.
Yeah, the reason that it previously was tracked back as Hampton County had the ability to do that to the county road, the county jurisdiction, so it would have to get by ordinance. There was a bit of a state statute regulating that.
So put that on your to-do list for your other ordinances and we maybe can knock them all out in one night. We'll do a consent agenda. Thank you. Thanks for researching that. Any other public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Nancy Day, and I know I have not been coming, except for this is my second meeting. So I have just some questions. Is there a reason that council and attorneys, whoever, do not have name things in front? Because like I said, I don't know who everybody is.
We had them, we just didn't set them up tonight.
See, I'm good. My eyes are not good.
We can throw them up real quick.
That's okay. Okay, I see.
We do have them back there.
I
The only
see.
one you need to know is Daniel Bragg.
Oh, yeah.
Send everything to him.
Okay. Now, if I remember it till next month. Okay, that was my first question.
Well,
Second,
At the start of meetings, since you're coming all the time, I'll remind Ron to silence his phone. You remind us to get our name tags up.
okay. Well, I was going to mention that, and then I'm thinking, maybe I should do some research about other accounts if they do that. And as I'm sitting there thinking, I have gone to the Fulton County Council and they have theirs on there. So I'm thinking they can. I just didn't know. Okay, well, good. That answers that question. My second question is, which I didn't know I was going to have until I was listening. And I'm sorry, since I didn't start on the beginning, what is the deal between County Line and Mule Barn again? As you were talking about making California a one-way, what's happening there? Because I live on County Line. Just a Reader's Digest version is fine.
Are you referring to the State Road 47 rebuild?
Yeah, that's what the California Street.
See, and I don't know what, and that was the other part of what all the stuff they're doing there. Again, since I haven't come and I'm sorry, I'm getting in late, but I just,
State Road 47 is an NDOT project that's been in the process for 12 years, I believe. Anyway, we're down to they're gonna start
doing something.
next summer. Well, they've started already by getting Duke out there to move poles.
Okay.
Our thoughts are when they close down 47, the first section of it, which will be from the county line back to somewhere in the neighborhood of California Street. We need a road because people are gonna still get on it and not have a place to get off of it. So
So
we're thinking about sending them up California Street north.
Just
And that
second.
street right next to it is one way going the other way, so
Mhm.
we'd have it both covered. But I mean, it's just something to think about, so we can get traffic through town when this project starts, it's gonna be.
As they're working on it, that's,
They will be realigning Mule Barn to California.
okay. I knew a long time ago that was a discussion, but again, I'm sorry, I've not come to the
No, it's
meeting,
fine.
so I did not know, and I decided it's time to.
I've been working on it for 12 years and they throw ringers at us every week.
Okay, well, I think that takes care of my questions. Thank you. So next month, I'll be seeing name plates in front of everybody's name.
It's
Two
meetings a month.
Oh, well, okay. And the only how I know is on Facebook. I really appreciate having that on there. So I can write down the next meeting will be,
It's always the first and third
First and-
Tuesday.
okay, I will put that down. Thank you.
Tuesday, August 19th, 6 o'clock, right?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just, I'm not really sure who to talk to on this, concern. One block from here at Fourth and,
Name and address.
I'm sorry, Kevin Bragg at 400 East Fifth Street, Sheridan. And, yeah, it's that corner. They redid the, ends of the sidewalks and that's great. But it's like they stopped the project before they were like 98% done. There's still a jagged hole where grasses and weeds are now growing up, and we have bricks from the street that are on our property, and some of it's in the street piled up. And just don't know who to take that concern to, that project could be completed. I'm guessing something has to be put down there next to that jagged end for the bricks, concrete or cold patch or something to fill that in.
It is.
So your son's sitting here and you don't know who to ask?
Nope.
Okay. You feel our pain.
Daniel Bragg. Send the whole answer.
I honestly didn't know it looks like Scott's got it.
Okay, is that your only question?
Yeah, it's just a concern. I'm
He's
more,
gonna
con-
answer it right here.
yeah, I'm more concerned that a car will actually get onto that brick and break it into the street, and then you'll have 4 holes instead
Okay.
of. Thank you, that's all I need.
To answer Mr. Bragg's question, we're well aware of it. It's a punch list item. When the contractor comes back through, Joe and I just had this conversation 5 minutes ago. I've been in contact with them. It's a punch list item. There's other punch list items. It will be taken care of. They are aware.
Okay. Keep us posted if you don't say anything in about, how many weeks do you think? 3?
Be ready for
The 22nd.
They're done with the project pretty much, so it should be your original.
Okay. Anyone else for Vance? Right, I'm not gonna play a game show. Either you're coming up or we're moving on. I'm ready to go home.
I really appreciate every comment, but I don't know your name, but you had a good about the cornfields. If you start in looking at how close corn is to a corner, then we're going to get into a legal fight at the corner of 6 Points and 236, that stinking fence on the southeast corner. We've discussed this before. And if you rule on corn, you better rule on that stinking fence. Because every farmer can plant up to the corner of his property. That's legal. And most farmers will try, if you go to a farmer, he will cut it back. But when you start walking into a cornfield, I think you're going to get a bunch of people very upset.
Just drove down there and stopped.
And I want to think, I don't know who did it, but that stinking semi on 4th Street is gone.
Hallelujah. It is gone. Is that right? See, I always thought the farmer was the one.
I did too.
Owned it back. I didn't know the county ever did it.
Action to pay accounts payable vouchers.
I'll make a motion, we pay the account payable vouchers.
Second.
Have motion and second as presented. All those in favor say aye. Council president's statement. I want to thank the people involved, and I'm not going to list names because I'll forget someone, on the Jeepathon. Main Street was awesome. If you were here and able to attend, I think 156 Jeeps came through. I don't know how many food vendors. Main Street was really packed, and it was packed all day. It was a very nice event. Year 2, much better than year 1, and year 1 was good. So I want to thank all of our employees, street, police, fire, for participating and keeping order. And I didn't see one negative individual at this. Fire department put up their bounce house. Did it get a lot of activity? I didn't make it down to that end. I didn't see trash in a bad way. I mean, there were containers, but I didn't see people throwing stuff. It was really well thought through event and handled. So just kudos to everyone involved in that, and the employees that really put the extra time to get that done. That's all I've got. Upcoming meetings, town council is August 19th. Tuesday, September 2nd, September 16th. Other boards and commissions, we have BZA on the 21st. The APC is also on the 21st at 6:30. Redevelopment Commission is the 26th. The RDC, are we having a special meeting?
I didn't get any response. I saw eyeball.
Well, I know there are,
I know, I'm in Florida. I know. Andrew
well, you
also
can still
can't
have a
be here.
quorum.
Right, I know Andrew also can't be here, so as long as you can get the other three.
Well, who's president of that board?
Me.
You need to make sure you can get through, not them.
Well,
not-
again, the problem is we have a football coach that is also on the commission. So-
We need to know
We'll try
tomorrow.
to work with the 26th.
Well, there-
Timelines.
No, we can, I mean,
There are other agenda items besides this one that are time sensitive that we're messing with contractors.
we're also having one tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
the one?
yes.
Well,
We have one
can
tomorrow.
your issue be handled tomorrow night?
Is it actually public?
So tomorrow night,
Yeah, tomorrow at 6.
Can't do it.
No?
No, it gets you many unknowns. I don't even have commitments, job commitments yet. So,
Okay. I mean, I can try to wrangle them for.
yeah, and if it doesn't work, we'll make the 26th work and figure out something else.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion with adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Careful getting home.
We don't have a